What's going on, everybody? This your boy Bill Mahari here, representing MehariNation Sports Podcast. Welcome to episode 2 of Basketball Conversations. Salute to the entire LDBC. Salute to the greater basketball community. We got a good episode for you guys today. Um, I'm going to discuss to you guys about, as you saw in the description here on my live stream, how I will view the Western Conference Finals this season, but also how do I see uh, how these teams will play out, but also who's going to be my sleeper player this year that's going to be destined for stardom. You know what I mean? So I want to thank y'all for y'all's support, man. Throughout this whole live stream, we're at 278 subscribers. So I'm asking, people who were listening to this live stream today, go ahead and spread the word and, give out your support and also give me some constructive opinions of what can I do to make the live stream better too, as I continue to evolve and make changes and progress. Okay. Just the producer, what's going on, my brother? Thank you for coming in. So I want to discuss to you guys about how I see the Western Conference this season. Okay. Now, and also smash the like button too. That also helps. Now, the one thing that I've always thought about the Western Conference is that how deep the conference is, in the last decade. Okay. But since the Warriors are going to be on the downside this season, I really believe that the Western Conference is legitimately wide open at this point. You could make a case for about 3 or 4 teams, which includes the Warriors, are possibly coming out of the West. Okay. Now, I had some discussions about that. Salute to Ticket TV, for the videos and everything that he do. Now, I had really thought a process about how I see the Western Conference this season. Okay. Now, here's how I kind of see it at the moment. Okay. As I pull this out real quick. Okay. So here's my prediction on the Western Conference from 1 through 8. Okay. Here's the first seed. I got the Los Angeles Clippers at number 1. At number 2, I got the Portland Trail Blazers. At number 3, the Houston Rockets. At number 4, either the Golden State Warriors or the Los Angeles Lakers. I had the Lakers at 5. But I think if you could make a possible case that either the Lakers could probably go up to number 4 or possibly number 3. Because to be honest with you, the top three spots can be wide open, depending on how you think. But I rated it as number 4 Warriors, number 5 Lakers. Number 6 is the Portland Trail Blazers. Now, to me, the Portland Trail Blazers are a sleeper team, and they've just gotten better too since signing Hassan Whiteside, which is really going to help their front line. Okay. Now, at number 7, I got the Denver Nuggets, and at number 8, I got the Utah Jazz. Now, we understand how the Western Conference is going to be so deep this year. You know what I mean? It's really going to be a tight race for all these 8 playoff spots, but particularly at number 1 through number 3, because the Portland Trail Blazers could make a case that they could possibly be a top seed or probably one of the top 3 seeds, because you still got the best tandem backcourt in the NBA with Damian Lillard and CJ McCollum. You got Nurkic, who's coming back from an injury. Now you got Hassan Whiteside in the mix. Now you got also Rodney Hood coming off the bench. This is really going to be interesting how the Portland Trail Blazers try to put this together. Now, they made it to the Western Conference Finals last season and got bounced, obviously. But I think this time around, I think the Blazers could probably learn from that experience and try to do better this time. William School Arnett, how you doing, my brother? Hey, how are you doing? How are you doing in terms of your treatment and your health, man? I've been thinking about you a lot lately, homie. So God bless you, man. I hope you're doing very well for yourself. And also about your New Orleans Pelicans, I know you have a lot of heat and a lot of major question marks about how your Pelicans team is going to look. But I'm telling you right now, you'll be safe. You'll have good, brighter days ahead when you got Zion Williamson as your main star player. Okay, so I would say hang tight, buddy. Okay, now I want to discuss to you guys about some of my sleeper teams that could probably make a little bit of noise in the Western Conference this season. Okay. And it's not the San Antonio Spurs. I think the San Antonio Spurs will not make the playoffs next season. And considering the fact that now there's been speculations where the San Antonio Spurs are now looking for trade offers to trade, uh, DeMar DeRozan. I think the Spurs are going to be due for a bit of a down year this year. I see their playoff streak coming to an end this upcoming season. I think that the competition in the West is just too deep. Now, the teams that you have to pay attention to are the Sacramento Kings, the Minnesota Timberwolves, and the Dallas Mavericks. Okay. Now, I know I've been hard on the Timberwolves the last few years, particularly what happened to the whole Jimmy Butler situation. But when you still got probably one of the best centers in the NBA on your team, you know what I mean? You'll still have a chance of a possible bright future. But the major question is going to be how Ryan Saunders is going to fit this. How is he going to coach this team? But also, how can he unlock the potential of Andrew Wiggins? Because right now, the case is out on him. We gave him that massive money. Now he has nights where he can show what he's capable of, but at the same time, he just sometimes disappears where he doesn't even take a shot or doesn't even play any defense. And as a Timberwolves person who's been with the franchise for a long time, it's really is concerning. William Scoot Arden says, I've been watching Lonzo Ball in shooting practice and a little bit impressed. I believe his father has been screwed up in his head. I do agree. And also, I want to say about the LeVar Ball thing. LeVar Ball is hurting his kids more than anything. Okay? There's a big reason why Lonzo has said enough to his father. Okay? The bottom line is this. LeVar Ball has been using his kids for his own financial gain. And that is disturbing to me. I mean, yes, he's been a father. He's been a good father. He's been taking care of his kids. But right now, his ego and his pride is really getting in the way of his judgment. And right now, I just really believe that Lonzo's confidence is just completely shot. Now, I believe that a lot of the reason why he's been having a lot of those ankle injuries is because them big baller brand shoes really were pathetic. And thank God I never ordered some. You get what I'm saying? I mean, those shoes, bro, $400 for a pair of shoes? Please, get out of here with that. I'm not wasting $400 on some pair of shoes. I got bills to pay. Bills to pay at home that I need $400 for. And you mean to tell me you want me to waste $400 on some crappy shoes that actually were reports that they were ripping apart during the first quarter of games when he was with the Lakers? Salute to Tiki TV for putting out that information too. I mean, that's just absolutely ridiculous. Just absolutely ridiculous. You know what I mean? So the way I look at it is this. I think that Lonzo Ball's days are numbers. He needs to show that he can play up to his capability that warrants him the second overall pick in the draft. If not, he'll be out of the league. And based on how his father keeps running his mouth, I fear that all of his boys may not have ever get a chance to play in the NBA. You know what I mean? Because them executives, though, bro, they listen to those stuff all over social media and all over the mass media news airwaves, and they're not going to take a chance on a guy who's just going to be nothing more than a problem. All right? That's just how it is. All right, so I'm going to get off of that portion. But the next thing I want to talk to you guys about are my sleeper teams. As I said before, I have the Sacramento Kings, the Minnesota Timberwolves, and the Dallas Mavericks. Okay? The Sacramento Kings really showed me a lot this last season. Okay, they have a really good young team there, especially with the point guard of De'Aaron Fox and also Buddy Hield. All right, I've been very impressed with De'Aaron Fox ever since he came in out of Kentucky. Okay, a guy who's a lefty, but he really does a great job running the fast break. You know what I mean? He's improved his decision making, and he's very good at scoring. You know what I mean? That's one of his biggest strengths, okay? Now, the one thing that I was a bit skeptical about De'Aaron Fox when he came into the league is, can he improve his decision making? Can his floor vision improve? And the based on what I saw last season from him, I think De'Aaron Fox is ready to take another leap into stardom. Okay, this is a guy that I believe in the next few years could be a possible MVP candidate. Okay, now if I'm wrong, I'm wrong, but I think that the Sacramento Kings right now are building a very good young core team. You know what I mean? And I think that if they continue to build and keep building those young players, I think that the Sacramento Kings will probably end their playoff drought and get to the NBA playoffs. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? It's just that these players are really showing that they not just they're athletic, but they can shoot and they're very good in the open court too. Now I'm worried about the one thing that I'm going to be anxious to see how they'll implement their half court system and can they get some big wins out in the West, because that's going to be the big key factor for me when the season starts. Can the Sacramento Kings get some victories, particularly against the Western Conference too, because they've had some good outings against Western Conference teams, but they just were not able to seal the deal. Okay, so that's the way I see it. Okay, what's good understands that I've been hearing that he has cut ties with his father. They've been working and they have been working together with the kid at practice on his shooting, and also heard that his father isn't allowed at the practice facilities. Oh, I know that. Oh yeah, yeah. Oh yeah. You know what I mean? I think that you know, that Lonzo is making the right decision. He's finally, you know, put his balls up and says, "Hey, I'm going to take control of my career." But I fear, to me, in my opinion, is this might be too little, too late. Okay, because your father's put it out there talking all this stuff for a long period of time, and what have you done? You were too silent up until now. Now that he realizes that he lost a lot of money, because remember, I I'm not sure if the lawsuit's still going on. I think it still is. Let me check real quick. Big. Yep, it's still going on. So yeah, the lawsuit's still going on as we speak right now. Now, I'm worried that right now that Lonzo is really going to have to show that he's capable of playing up to his talent. Because if he's not, he's going to be out of the league in by at least within the next 2 years if he doesn't show the NBA something. Okay, you know what I mean. Now I'm glad that he's putting in the work to improve his game on his shooting and also getting in shape though too. I think it's really good that he's putting in the work right now, but he's got to show more than that. And also, I've heard that he had a bad week in practice too, where it's just that he wasn't getting in sync with himself at that point. So I think that at this point right now, I think that you just have to think how will Lonzo Ball respond with all this pressure heading into this season, particularly with a guy with a very, very extremely talented Zion Williamson as your teammate. You feel what I'm saying? Now, let me get back to my sleeper team stuff too. The next sleeper team I also have is the Dallas Mavericks. Okay. Now, y'all know that the Dallas Mavericks acquired Kristaps Porzingis through a trade with the Knicks. Okay. And who's that point guard that point guard's name for the Mavericks? I forgot it. I know his name. He was a very talented one. Where's Luka Doncic? Oh yeah, Luka Doncic. I think that Luka Doncic is really going to be the guy that's going to be the steal of the draft. This guy, I'm telling you, he really showed a lot his rookie season, and I think he's going to get even better as his career progresses. Now you got a center like Kristaps who can post, who can basically finish with power, and he's good, has a good post game, and he can step out and shoot threes, almost the equivalent of a Dirk Nowitzki too. Not saying they're both the same player, but I'm saying in terms of their style of play, I think the Dallas Mavericks are gonna really surprise a lot of people this season. I think that the Dallas Mavericks are really building something with their two main players as well, and also if Kristaps Porzingis to stay healthy and really make a splash in the West, I think they could probably steal one of the seventh or eighth seeds in the West. You know what I mean? It's really interesting to me how much the Dallas Mavericks have really improved themselves in a couple of years now. Now they have an opportunity to really make a splash right now. Okay, you got JJ Barea who's coming back, and then you got Tim Hardaway Jr. And then you also have Courtney Lee, and then also with Luka Doncic, and now Kristaps Porzingis on the team. I'm telling you, the Dallas Mavericks are going to really make a bit of a splash next season. I guarantee you. Needy G, what's going on? How you doing, sister? Good to hear from you. So, my player that I believe is going to be the biggest surprise for everybody this season to me is going to be the Aaron Fox of the Sacramento Kings. Now, this guy is now entering his second to third year in the third year in the league, and he's really improving his stats almost every single year. In his rookie year, he averaged about 11.5 points per game. The last season, he averaged close to 18 points a game, actually 17, I should say. But also, he's really very speedy in the open court. He's 6'3", and basically he can really take you off the dribble and loves to lead the fast break. Okay. Now, the one thing that is going to be a big thing for me is, can he improve his decision making, and more importantly, can he also continue to improve his shot selection? Because in the first couple of years, he would have great games, but sometimes he would take questionable shots. And also, there's another guy that I also didn't mention too, Marvin Bagley from Duke. Marvin Bagley, I'm telling you guys, Marvin Bagley, if he can stay healthy, really can make a huge splash next season too. With that core of Buddy Hield and De'Aaron Fox, I'm telling you, the Sacramento Kings are going to really make some stuff happen next season. I'll tell you that much. Tell you that much. Now, we got 7 likes in there and we got 5 people watching, though. So appreciate the likes, though, guys. Really helps the channel grow and really helps to spread out the word of this channel as well. Now, I'm going to continue to do my part, and I'm going to post regular videos about all the stuff that is going on in the world of basketball, too. So hopefully you guys with all of your wrenches there, can you all make sure to share this live stream, and also share this one. Also spread the word about my channel and try to make sure that the channel grows too as well. You know what I mean? It would really help a lot. So the next thing I wanted to discuss about, to me, is also what has been bothering on my mind, Melo Anthony. Now, to be honest with you, I'm really, really getting tired. He said, "What? Not to change subject, but what do you think about AJ talking about what do you think about AJ talking about retirement if he beats Ruiz?" And Ahern said that they'll freeze out Wilder until Wilder retires. Go ahead and do so. Okay. Thank you for that. I'm gonna get to that in just 1 second. P Money was good, brother. How you doing? Okay. Now, the one thing that I will say about Carmelo Anthony is that Carmelo Anthony deserves another opportunity at a job. Okay, he deserves another chance to play in the NBA. He's only 35. He hasn't had a major injury. All right. Now, if he signs with the Brooklyn Nets, when Kevin Durant comes back, which I'm hearing reports he might come back sooner than expected, then I'm telling you, the Brooklyn Nets will challenge for the NBA championship. Okay. There's if they sign Melo and basically be another optional scorer to include in their team, I'm telling you, the Nets will go to places. Okay, but the only thing I'm going to wait for is that the deal gets done. All right, just as you guys mostly know in sports, it's never a truly done deal until the deal is signed, sealed, and delivered. So I'm going to hold off and wait until that happens. Okay. Now, to answer Mr. Williams School Arnest's question, Denise Ward, what's going on, sister? How you doing? I'm going to answer Williams School Arnest's question. Okay. Who cares what Eddie Hearn says at this point? Okay. Listen, Eddie Hearn and Bob Arum have made it very clear that they want to freeze out undisputed. They do not want Al Heyman to control all of the heavyweight belts, okay? And also, that has also came out that the PBC is no longer recognizing the WBO. Because if you go back into history, that huge lawsuit that Top Rank had with Al Heyman, remember, the WBO was the witness to for Top Rank. Okay, so there's always been a conflict of interest when it comes to the WBO. Okay, now I don't believe that AJ will retire if he loses to Amber Ruiz again. I think he'll probably come back, take a couple of easy fights, and then get back into contention because I know that Eddie Hearn will try to give him another shot. But listen, they've already got the mandatories lined up with the IBF with Kibrat Pulev and the WBO with Alexander Usyk. Okay, at this point, I just want to see the two best heavyweights fight each other. The belts really does not mean anything. As Floyd Mayweather says, all belts do is collect dust and collect sanctioning fees. All right, that's all it is. All right. The big thing is this. I'm hoping that Ruiz knocks him out. Just get AJ. Just put AJ out of his misery because I'm really getting sick and tired of AJ running his mouth. And also, here's another side comment I want to also address too, since we're on this topic. How dare Anthony Joshua disrespect Lennox Lewis like that by suggesting that he's been picking on him, when all in actuality he was trying to give you reasonable advice that if you wanted to be the greatest heavyweight champion in UK history, you got to go in America and beat the ruler of America, which is basically Deontay Wilder. And what did you do? You basically ran like a coward and didn't want to hear it. And now you got all smoke coming from all directions. People in the UK are basically trash talking to AJ, giving him all the truth. And I know everybody in America is talking shit about, Anthony Joshua, which is well deserved. And all right, whatever. So the bottom line is that AJ, they could freeze out Wilder if they want, but they can't freeze out the truth. Just like what Dante said once. Okay. What Dante said is that you could hide the truth in a box, throw away the key, and throw it out in the water. But eventually, the truth always comes out to light. Okay? The thing is this. I don't care for Undisputed because I'm really getting tired of all this political talk. Because if Andy Ruiz wins the rematch, which he will, I bet you he will win the rematch. They're going to do whatever they can to strip Ruiz of those belts to make sure that Undisputed does not happen. And that's the narrative of the whole conversation is. They don't want Al Heyman to control all of the heavyweight belts. Actually, let me flip that. They don't want to see Deontay Wilder become the undisputed heavyweight champion because they know if Wilder becomes undisputed champion, there's no one in boxing that can legitimately beat him, not even Tyson Fury. And I'm getting sick and tired of Tyson Fury running his mouth not saying like, "Oh, I'm not going to take no step aside money because I want you to fight you dosser." Like, dude, shut up. You had the opportunity right in your face to accept the rematch. But now I feel like, in my opinion, the rematch has lost a lot of its luster because you've decided to ran to Top Rank into Bob Arum and know that Bob Arum's going to put the royal screw job to all of the plans. And now you're sitting here and talking about, oh, we want to build the fight, which you want to just freeze it out. So you want to cash out on the entire thing. So dismiss me with that. All I can tell you is Ruiz and Joshua is going to be one of the big fights this year. And a lot of stuff is going to happen, win or lose, for either one of those guys. Is Ruiz going to prove himself as a legitimate heavyweight as a true legitimate heavyweight champion? Or will Joshua bounce back and regain the belts? Now, if Joshua regains the belts, he will not fight Wilder. That's a fact. He's made it clear he does not want anything to do with Deontay Wilder. He wants nothing to do with facing all the top heavyweights. So they're gonna plan on freezing him out. So I do agree with you, Mr. Arnett. They will freeze out Wilder until Wilder is basically gone from the sport. Now that's a fact. Let me get some water real quick. Okay, now back to the basketball conversation. I know I was a little bit sidetracked on the boxing stuff, but I just wanted to put the point out there so everybody understands where my take and all of this is. Okay, Now, Nurkic to me, what P Money said, Nurkic to me is much more better as a power forward than he is as a center. And I think really the missing link to me was Nurkic. Okay. Now you add Hassan Whiteside to the mix where he runs the floor well, he blocks shots, he rebounds, and he basically occupies a lot of space. That takes a lot of pressure off of Nurkic. So now you got an excellent front line of Nurkic and Hassan Whiteside on your team. Combine that with the tandem backcourt of Damian Lillard and CJ McCollum. Okay, so the Blazers right now, there's no excuse for the Portland Trailblazers. They got the talent, they got the chemistry, and they got the coaching staff to do it. It's just a matter of putting it all together. Muhammad is the one. How you doing, my brother? He says, salute my brother Mahari. And yes, to hell with AJ. Well, y'all know what my take is on AJ. So I don't really care for him. You know, whatever he decides to do with his life, that's his life. But he doesn't mean anything. He doesn't mean much to us. All right. So now let me get back to my discussions about some of the things I've seen in basketball too. By this, we're entering into a new decade of NBA basketball. Okay, Dirk's gone. Dwayne Wade is gone, and soon LeBron James is going to be gone too, and Kevin Durant is going to start showing his age a bit. All right, so the new decade is going to provide us a lot of questions. Who's going to be the new superstar in the making? Zion Williamson could be that guy, but we just don't know. How is he going to develop? Can he stay injured free? How many championships he'll win? Can he lead an unknown New Orleans Pelicans team from mediocrity to basically a championship contending team? We just don't know. And also, let me tell you what. I want to give a little bit of a take about my Chicago Bulls. Okay. Now, I know you guys might want to laugh about the Chicago Bulls, but I'm telling you right now, if Zach LaVine and Roy Markkanen get it together, I think my Chicago Bulls could probably make something happen in the next few years. Now, they're not going to make the playoffs. I tell you that much. They won't make the playoffs this season, and they probably won't make the playoffs next season. But keep an eye on Roy Markkanen. Okay, he's an unknown guy he's a stretch forward who can spread the floor, shoot the ball, and his finishing ability is very underrated too. Okay, and Zach LaVine is really improving his game through leaps and bounds since being traded from Minnesota, which makes it even more upset that we needed to keep Zach LaVine on the team. But it is what it is. But I think like Chicago Bulls within about 3 to 4 years are going to be one of those teams that's going to be on the block, barring any injuries or any significant trades that happens to that team. I think my Chicago Bulls could make something happen in the Eastern Conference. Okay, now the Eastern Conference is basically it's kind of geared to it's now starting to gear itself a bit when in terms of the contending teams. Okay, you got the Nets that are going to be in the mix for a championship, and then you also got the Milwaukee Bucks, the Philadelphia 76ers. They're going to be in the conversation for championship aspirations. But the big question for me about for Philadelphia is going to be, can Ben Simmons improve that jump shot to take his game to another level? I've always believed that Ben Simmons has always been shooting with the wrong hand a lot. Okay, if he can improve that jump shot, now I've seen some clips of him, in scrimmage games and practices where his jump shots been on target. It's nothing but the bottom of the net, no rim, nothing, just straight through the net. Okay, if he can develop a 15, 16-foot jump shot from mid-range plus or extend his range to the three-point line, his game is going to go into another level. And combine that with Joel Embiid's, potential as a big man who can stretch the floor but also can post up as well. The Philadelphia 76ers could possibly be a contending team. But again, we just don't know how those two young players will continue to evolve, particularly on Ben Simmons. Okay. Now, the Milwaukee Bucks, I think they are gonna really take another leap towards contending for a championship. And I think we're gonna see the best out of Giannis Antetokounmpo this season. Okay. I think that His MVP year was fantastic, but I think we're going to see more coming out of him, particularly with the development of that jump shot. Now, he's got a good form on that jump shot, okay? He can really stroke it, and he's very lengthy, okay? So I think, to me, Giannis Antetokounmpo is going to really take his game to a beyond MVP status. And if he can get his jump shot together from mid-range or from the three-point line, his game's going to go to another level, okay? But also, the big factors for me is going to be the supporting cast, okay? Now, they did lose Malcolm Brogdon during the offseason to the Indiana Pacers, and watch out for the Pacers, too. They're really getting it together. But I think that if you really look at the Milwaukee Bucks this year, they did lose Malcolm Brogdon. Paul Gasol, also left too. But I think that they still got still the core of their team together. But I just wish they would have got rid of Eric Bledsoe. He was just inconsistent throughout the playoffs. Okay, and I think Chris Middleton is going to take another level of also of all-star status too. He's going to have to shoulder more of the load with Malcolm Brogdon now gone. So it's really going to be interesting to see how the Milwaukee Bucks are trying to put it together too. Okay. Now let me talk some basketball history for you guys. And go ahead and smash that like button too. Hey, Samuel, my Eritrean brother. How you doing, my man? Mr. Samuel, how you doing, my friend? Well, I like that little Eritrean camel there, though, dude, bro. I like that that Navatar logo there. That's nice, bro. That's really nice. Now, let me give you some little history on some basketball stuff, okay? Now, I've always watched basketball constantly on my laptop, on my phone, on my tablet, and I read and talk about basketball a lot. Now, one of the teams that I always thought about that could have been a great team during that period of time was the Boston Celtics. After the famous 86 team who won 65 games, the dominant front line with Bird, McHale, and also with Parrish too. Now think about this for a moment. If Len Bias didn't die, and you also added Reggie Lewis to the mix, with those guys on the downside, if you would have had those two young players together, the Celtics would have probably contended for more championships after Bird, McHale, and Parrish retired. But it's just a damn shame that those two guys had to die in their prime. You know what I mean? I mean, Len Bias was a very underrated player, very athletic, and could basically dominate in the post. All right. And the Celtics did what the Celtics been doing during their whole dynasty period. They traded up, they made deals to get top picks, and they were getting ready to take over the league. But then after Len Bias died, everything just went downhill. The players got old. You know what I mean? The powerhouse teams of the East started to catch up with the Celtics, and they basically the team faded into the oblivious. All right, into history. Now I watched some old Reggie Lewis clips during his prime when he made the All-Star team in 1992. Boy, I was very impressed with his ability to run the floor, but also his shooting ability, and also he can really see the floor for a two guard as well. And let me check his assist totals during his career too. Reggie Lewis. Yep. Reggie Lewis, during his brief 6-year career, he basically averaged about three, almost 2.5 assists per game. But his scoring really started evolving after the 88-89 season when Bird was out with the back injuries, and also that the team was getting old as well. So it's really unfortunate to me how a lot of these guys, like the Len Biases, the Reggie Lewis of the world, had to die at a young age. It's just a shame to me. But that's what happened, during that whole crack epidemic during that period as well. You know what I mean? Just people were using that cocaine a lot, and it was really a huge problem back then. You know what I mean? And I'm glad it's starting to control itself to a certain extent. But you know, it took away the prime of both of those players. You know what I mean? But the Sucks were going to be ready to take over the league. And I'll be honest with you, if Len Bias and Reggie Lewis would have been together with each other after Bird retired, I'm telling you, the Celtics could have been one of those teams that probably beaten the Chicago Bulls based on their athletic ability, but also their skill set too. They would have frustrated both Jordan and Pippen as well. You get what I'm saying? So that's just the little history that I wanted to keep bringing some light into on the situation. Okay, so we got 7 people watching here. So thank y'all for the support, though. It really means a lot. Listening to you, letting you guys, to go ahead and chop it up. So I'm gonna ask you guys a bit of a question too. Who do you have as your matchup for the NBA Finals for next season? All right. Feel free to discuss it in the chat if you like. Okay. Now I'm going to discuss about it as people would like to type in if they want. I think to me, the matchup that I would be interested in the NBA final that's going to be in the NBA Finals, my prediction will be the Milwaukee Bucks versus the Los Angeles Clippers. Okay, I believe so. Now, someone posted that to me that the Lakers could possibly make the NBA Finals too. Could be the case, but to me, I think that the Lakers are under so much pressure to really get out of the Western Conference. Okay, this is a big moment for both LeBron James and Anthony Davis. All right, this team is on the Lakers are basically on thin ice. I'll just put it that way. They're basically on thin ice. If they don't get it together, and if they don't get off to a good start, you watch what I tell you. The mass media, ESPN, Fox Sports, all them LeBron James haters, they're gonna be all over this team from start to finish. And also considering the fact that you brought back Dwight Howard to the team, you know what I mean? It's really going to be a roller coaster if this team does not get off to a good start. That's basically what I see out of this. Okay, so that's the way I see it. I got the Clippers. I got the Clippers and the Bucks in the NBA Finals. I think that this time around, I think the Clippers are a better team than the Lakers. I think they're much more of a sound defensive team, and they have better coaching in Doc Rivers too, compared to Frank Vogel, which I don't know why he was coaching in the first place when you could have had other applicants there too. You know what I mean? So this is going to be very interesting. It's going to be a wild season of NBA basketball as we enter into the new decade of NBA basketball, and a couple of years too in the All-Star game in Cleveland. I think the NBA is going to be celebrating its 75th anniversary too. Where my Knicks fans? Hey, Brooklyn Child, how you doing, bro? Listen, I know you still riding with your Knicks, though, bro. I salute you for that, despite the fact how garbage the Knicks have been over this almost 2 decades or so. Yeah, it is 2 decades. But I'm gonna tell you this right now: your Knicks ain't going to the playoffs. They're gonna be the 3rd worst team in the NBA this season. Okay, the Knicks are flat out garbage. I love you, man. I understand that you still believe in your Knicks and that RJ Barrett could be that person that probably resurrect the team, but I was not sold too well on RJ Barrett when he was in Duke, and you know what I mean. And he's gonna have to show me a lot next season if he's gonna be that guy to help lead the Knicks out of that state of just embarrassment. Okay, and based on the stuff that I've been hearing, what Charles Oakley said too, boy oh boy, I don't see the Knicks going anywhere. As much as I hate to say it. Sorry, homie. Man. So that's just how I kind of see it though too, But I'm I wanted to give all of you guys, everybody in the chat, all your thanks. So I'll be back on Thursday. I'm going to discuss to you guys a very important topic that means a lot to me. You know what I mean? And a very big issue, a very big thing that has been honestly been the hallmark of my life. So you'll be guys be in for a very special treat, and hopefully it'll inspire somebody to basically have an inspiration to be their own individual person. You know what I mean? Now Brooklyn Child says, honestly, I do believe they can make the AC. If they play well, anything's possible. He likes the young core. Okay. You believe they're gonna make the AC? Okay. I don't. It could be possible. I'm not saying. I'm not gonna try to, put any doubt on your head, but I just don't see the Knicks getting to the playoffs. I just don't see it. So, and also the hell with James Dolan too. That dude needs to go ASAP. James Dolan is the worst owner in the history of sports. He makes Dan Gilbert look like a saint. That's just how I see it. So I'm gonna go ahead and just wrap this up, though, y'all. But I want to thank everybody in the chat. Got a lot of people in the chat, so the engagement was great. So I really appreciate all the support and all the love here, guys. And I will do my part to post in more videos, more live streams. And if anybody wants to come in here and chop it up basketball with me, feel free to come. Feel free to do so on the chat, and I'll invite some people on the live stream to just talk basketball too as we come back. And also, this is episode 2 of the Basketball Conversations. Now, I couldn't go live Friday due to some other stuff I had going on last night. So, this show of Basketball Conversations will be on Friday nights at 9 p.m. Central Time. And it's going to be specifically on that spot. No changes. And for Saturday, we're going to discuss boxing. All boxing talk. Okay? On this channel. All the stuff that's going on in boxing. You know what I mean? All the storylines, all the narratives. You know what I mean? Everything. Okay? And go ahead and smash the like button on the way out too. So, I'm going to discuss personal topics on Thursdays on 9 p.m. Central Time, and then basketball conversations at Friday at 9 p.m. Central Time, and then the boxing stuff on Saturday at 3 p.m. Central Time. So make sure to spread the word about that, and also feel free to smash the like button and share the live stream on all of your social media platforms to really engage with other people too. I'm welcome to all different types of opinions and perspectives, but I will not respect any trolling or any racial stuff on this live stream, as y'all would know. So, this has been Abil Mehari, representing the MehariNation Sports Podcast. Salute to the entire LDBC, and we out. I'll see you guys on Thursday. Oh, Ticket TV, my brother, man, this was about to close it out. Hey, Ticket, we should probably do a basketball. We should probably do a basketball discussion on my channel too, or I'm hoping that I could basically come over to your channel though too, and maybe discuss and have a little bit of a debate about all the stuff in basketball too. If you're up for it too, I'll try to email you behind the scenes, okay? But this has been Abil Mehari representing the podcast. Salute to the entire LWC, and I'll see y'all Thursday night.